Hey guys, happy Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, July 16th, 2019. Super excited to be here on the show with my friends Robert Prater and David Grimm. Did I say Prater or Prater?
No one's ever told me how to pronounce it either. But I am looking forward.
This is Rob and Dave, David and Robert. So we're here to talk about Orange County public school teachers and what's going on with that. Hey Kim, what's up? Let us know you can hear us and see us. Super important show. We already got a thumbs up, so that's good. Both of these gentlemen have been on the show before, just in different, we had different topics we covered. This is a really big one, so if you've been hearing all about the stuff that's going on with the Orange County public school teachers and their salaries and their health insurance benefits and a whole litany of things, Dave and Rob are here to talk about that and many other things. Welcome, guys.
Welcome. Thanks for having us.
All right, so they always love to hear just a little bit about you. Obviously, you weren't born and then you were a teacher, I don't think.
No.
So give them a little bit about you and then we'll dive right into what's going on.
I'll start. So again, my name is David Grimm. I am a lifelong Central Florida resident, more specifically Orange County. Orange County Public School graduate, attended UCF, and I have been an Orange County employee, Orange County Public School employee since 1998. So
Wow.
I think I'm entering my 22nd year of education
Wow.
while here in Orange
God
County.
bless you.
Yeah. I'm Rob Prater. I am a dean out at Oak Hill Elementary. I want to give a shout out to my principal, Dr. June Jones, because this is her last year after 35 years, and I want to congratulate her and being so dedicated to our teaching profession.
What a blessing.
I am originally from Massachusetts. You'll hear my my Boston accent come out every now and then.
Just a
and
little.
Yeah, Ted likes to make fun of me.
No, it's a great one. I love to hear it.
And we've made it very clear we really don't have an accent. Everybody else does. So yeah, everybody knows about Plymouth Rock. We were here first. So.
You were here.
Yeah. So we're really happy to be on the show. I reached out to Ted, and we really feel that our teachers need to be valued and a top priority. So thanks for having us on.
Of course. Well, I agree with you 100%. My wife's a private school teacher. I have many friends who are educators. And so I think I want to dive in because I want to know what's going on. You all talk about the metamorphosis you created. You've got a whole bunch of stuff going on with the teachers' contracts, which involves pay and benefits and how that all plays out. And so you created a Facebook page. I love social media, guys. It's powerful. And so talk a little bit about that. What's going on?
So recently, it was kind of just about the end of the school year where the teachers union and the district, they come together for contract negotiations. And typically our contracts are negotiated annually. And so they had released the initial proposal from the district in regards to what was going to be offered. It had to do with salary, it had to do with bonuses, it had to do with the insurance coverage. So those are the two highlights, obviously, because those are the two things that affect teachers the most.
Of course.
And so the initial offer was rejected by the teachers union, and it was stated that they rejected that offer because they felt it didn't truly show the value of teachers. And
because the raise, the increase wasn't what you had expected or what they would expect.
Right, so they felt as though there was more money there that could be offered to teachers' salary. So the union rejected it, and so what was going to happen is they were going to go back to the negotiating table, and it was actually a little bit less than a week that they went back to negotiations, and by the end of the day, the original offer from the district was agreed upon by the teachers union.
So the one that, hi Bill Moore, yes, we agree with you. The one that they said, no, this is horrible, a week later was then approved.
It was approved. It was stated by the union
Yeah.
that this was the best they were going to get, that the district would not budge.
They wouldn't budge.
And as a negotiator in any business or any kind of contract negotiations, the person that's offering something, they're of course going to probably offer something that would be at a low dollar amount. You're not going to go to a car dealer and say, hey, you know what, I'm going to really offer you double the price of the sticker value because,
right?
So the district's job as a negotiation is to offer something that's going to cost less money. That's just, at the end of the day, Orange County Public Schools is the second largest employer in Orange County, next to Disney, and they're going to try to do their best to operate that business, which at the end of the day, it is a business.
I agree.
In saving the most money fiscally. So the biggest thing that got my attention was the increase in the health insurance premiums that were going to be on this new agreement. I started to do some calculations, and for me, the interesting part, and most people feel as though I'm probably being affected directly, but my wife and I both teach in Orange County. She's entering her 19th year with Orange County Public
Wow.
Schools. And so our insurance coverage is not going to go up too much. So what I was really looking at is the increase for someone that was the insurance carrier for their entire family. So let's say you have a husband and wife, maybe 2 kids, we'll just make that an even number. Their insurance was going to go up significantly. I think if you did the math for a 10-month teacher, because we only get paid over 10 months, it was going to increase by $4,000, and that was just the premium increases. In addition to the premium increases, we had the out-of-pocket expenses were going to go up. A normal doctor visit for your regular physician, any kind of specialist was going to go up, emergency visits, all kinds of things were going to increase
significantly
in this plan.
$100 on ER visits.
And while we understand that this is kind of the thing that's happening throughout the country, is this increase of the cost of insurance, traditionally other jobs you're going to have an increase in the salary that's going to kind of match or be able to be larger than those insurance premiums going up. So if you were to look at the insurance premium and then the increase in the teacher pay, that family that I was explaining that covered the insurance for their entire family, they are actually going to lose money, because the most they could get in a salary increase was, I think, around $2,250. So in actuality, they would be losing almost $1,800.
Right, they're going to get a net pay cut,
Right.
Exactly.
basically. And I mean, overall, and you're right, you're not even, think about it. I just went to the specialist today. I have pretty good insurance, $35 copay. I remember the days where I had not so great insurance, and it was $100 for me minimum to go to these
Specialists will be
specialists.
$55.
And it just when it adds up, it really adds up. Especially if you've got a family, and then they can throw all sorts of things in there on the insurance. You know, you've got to meet a certain deductible
Right.
before that it gets paid, and you know you got 80-20 here, but you only have 70-30 here, and it's a lot more money than just the $4,000.
And so what really got me going in this whole situation is, here we have this increase in insurance and a small raise. It's actually going to have some families lose money. And then you have a group who's supposed to be representing us as teachers. We have a teachers union that's going to represent over 14,000 instructional people in Orange County. And they literally went to the table, rejected it, but turned around and came back and agreed to the original offer. And so in my opinion, this actually happened 2 straight years, where the rejection happened after the first offer, and then we came back to the table just to accept the original offer. And so I just felt as though, why are we not fighting? Why are we not fighting for the 14,000 teachers in Orange County? Why are we not at least going back to the table and saying, you know what, show us that you truly value teachers. Show us as school board members that ran on the promise that you're going to value teachers. Why not go back to the table and really get the district to show that to us? And so I just felt as though our union let us down. While I'm not saying that they didn't go to the bargaining table, they didn't spend time to try to really get the best offer. I just felt as though after one round, and then just to kind of almost just say that, you know, we're going to take it on the chin, I felt let down. And
I don't blame you. I think and I've got a quick question, and I want to go to the site and about the Facebook page and move forward.
Sure.
But I'm always fascinated. Why do you think in our country, or why do you think in general, people, I don't even know if it's people, I think there's this low pay for veterans, for first responders, for teachers, and yet those people make such an impact on our lives every day. What is it that we continue to allow as a country? We continue to allow that to happen.
I think it comes down to representation. I've been on committees with CTA, and I can tell you, even myself personally, I'm not a lawyer. I'm not a negotiator. You sit there, you take them at face value. we need real professional negotiators that understand, how to evaluate, these dollars and the benefits that are out there. Again, I'm not bashing what CTA is trying to do, but we need to bring in, teachers are not negotiators, we're teachers. We need to bring in real negotiators. Because the first rule in negotiating, I can tell you this, is supply and demand. And, this country has never seen, and this state has never seen, a greater teacher shortage than you have.
Right.
So
why is that? Because it's the pay, it's the...
I think there's so many things, Ted, that can go to answer that question. It's
that would be a real big
the over
diamond
testing,
with
the
a lot of
evaluation
facets.
systems, the salaries, the quality of job. In the Facebook group that we'll talk about in a second, there's people talking about different things that affect them personally. Some of these people are selling their own blood plasma to make ends meet.
I've heard
sad
that.
stories.
But to go back to answer your question, I think that these positions are funded by the government, and anytime you involve elected officials, anytime you involve government entities, the salaries are definitely something that gets a little bit complicated because you have to have those salaries funded by ultimately whether it's a county or state or federal level.
Right.
And I think that when you add politics, unfortunately, it gets a little bit...
It's aggravating as somebody who is not in that, so I can't imagine living in it every single day.
But the big problem is in the rearview mirror. People don't understand yet that 10 years ago, when this whole housing crisis started, and they reference back to that as a benchmark point, there was 8,000 students at UCF in education. Today, that number is 3,000.
Yeah.
So as we retire, there's nobody behind us to fill these jobs.
Oh, I understand. That's interesting. I did not
so
know
this
that.
teacher shortage is going to get nothing but continually get worse and worse and worse if they don't wake up and do something. Or somebody's going to need to get, Mr. Is it Melendez, Javier, that recruits at OCPS, some luggage. Because he's going to have to go out of state or out of the country to find teachers.
I wasn't
to come
sure
there.
where you were going with that, Rob, and so
No,
I'm just sitting back here smiling.
Yeah.
Well, and Ted, to piggyback on what Robert was talking about, this shortage of education majors coming out of college, and what's going to end up being shortages. I believe this is a direct, and this isn't necessarily OCPS fault, but there was state mandated or federal mandates about implementing technology into the classroom. So now just starting this year, you're talking about elementary school students using devices at school, iPads or laptops. And so what's slowly happening is you're taking the effect of a one-to-one or actual face-to-face teacher in the classroom, and now you're putting students on technology.
Right.
You're putting students on programs that have, I don't know the correct description, but if you have to log in, now you're an identifiable piece of data for a company or a software
100%.
program.
Yeah.
And I ultimately believe that the goal of the policymakers, mostly at the state and federal level, is to wean out the need of a teacher. You can put 200 students in a classroom with a device and have a tutor or multiple tutors just rotating throughout the classroom.
Right.
And there is no replacement for a teacher. There is no replacement for somebody that can sit next to you and truly make an impact on your ability to learn, in addition to so many of the other things that teachers bring value when it's to students, learning about their life, learning about the different challenges that they face at home. So to me, I think this is all kind of an orchestrated thing going on with some people.
There's
in policies.
there's much bigger things going on. I think you're right, that are impacting us at every level, and that's unfortunate. I hadn't thought about that, but you're right. I think moving with the technology, shifting tutors in and out sounds horrible to me. I think I put on my post this morning, I have teachers that I still keep in touch with that were incredible mentors to me growing up, and I think that if we take that out of the classroom, we're depersonalizing yet one more thing.
Well, that's one of the first
world.
things we teach in classroom management. Build those relationships with those students, and you see that breaking down with these one-on-one devices. I'm at the elementary level. David's at the middle school level. And you would, these kindergarten, first graders, second graders, when they're developing those social skills, they're gone.
Yeah.
Because they're looking at a computer all day. They don't know how to talk to each other. You go send them out to recess, and I'm going out there and breaking up, skirmishes. I don't want to call them fights at that age, but they're
a little disagreements.
Yeah, but they just don't know how to share or talk to each other because they're on these computers.
Well, there's no conflict resolution either going on when you're just one-on-one with a laptop or something. All right, so I don't want to get too far off.
Yep.
It's my fault because I wanted to get your perspective on that. But I want to talk about the group. So you all have a union, but you feel strongly enough, and I agree with you, that your voices need to be heard, that you don't want to just accept what's being told that you need to accept.
Right.
So you created...
So it was a Saturday morning. I woke up and I just felt really passionate about how this agreement was going to affect people that I worked with, people throughout the district. And so I said to myself, you know what? Every single year, these contracts are ratified without any kind of question, without any discussion from teachers. And so I said, you know what? I want to vote no on this contract ratification because I feel as though we need to go back to the table between the union and the district and really do our due diligence and put forth as much effort as we can to truly show the value of our education system, truly show the value of teachers and our students. So I created this Facebook group. It's OCPS Teachers Unite, Vote No. And within a week, that group was over 4,000 members and growing strong. And the really cool part about this group is I don't feel as though it became this session where all we did was complain. It truly became an educational opportunity, and that's what we are. We're teachers.
Sure.
I couldn't believe how many teachers really didn't know a lot of the things that directly impact them in their job. And so we really used this Facebook group to, number one, explain about the no and why we would vote no.
Even the process.
And then really show them why we feel as though voting no is what we need to do in this current situation, because we started to educate them on the budget process. We started to educate them on what truly is decided at the state level, what's decided at the county level. We got the attention of the school board members when they realized in less than 3 days we had such a large group of teachers who were upset. And at the following school board meeting, it was very apparent that the new members especially
standing room only
had started to really listen and really wanted to go back to the table to find money that could be directly given to teachers in our salaries. So,
and it's gotten the attention of the legislators. I've spoken to and met with 4 or 5 just in the last week, and trying to learn this whole process and how this money comes about and funding, and it's quite interesting. You've got the district blaming Tallahassee. Tallahassee says, "Look, we sent the money," and and again, you have to look at the whole body of how this is all developed. Last year, Tallahassee sent 47 cents a student. I get it. That's Tallahassee's fault. This year, they're saying they're sending $75 a student. Well, when you put the 2 years together, it comes out to $37.50.
And this is an increase, not per student, but an increase in that amount.
You're right. And so it's just not enough. I mean, we're 46th in the nation in pay.
Did y'all hear that?
46th.
We're 46th in the nation.
We're the 3rd largest state now in America, and we are 46th. Honestly, the governor should be embarrassed for to be that low and not do more about it. And it was an issue during the governor's election that teacher minimum pay should be $60,000 at the national average. Darren Soto put out a bill in 2015, Teacher Fair Pay Act, and that was $50,000 back in 2015. So you can see they know that this issue, and I'm going to call it a problem, has existed for several years.
I don't want to confuse anybody, but what I wanted you guys to remember is that as voters, we voted another, and let them give you the little description, but we voted to increase a certain increase in our property taxes in order to specifically go toward helping teachers, increasing teachers' benefits, salaries. And we had many of the Orange County people run on that platform to support that and to bring teachers make teachers top priority. What I would want to ask as a taxpayer is what's going on. And I think that that's what I'd like to encourage my non-teachers who voted for that and thought, yeah, this is a great thing. Yes, it is a great thing, but it has to be utilized and they have to have access to that money. And there has to be some accountability, checks and balances as to what's going on with that money. And if they're taking a net deficit, a net decrease in their pay, something is not right. What's that old Macbeth quote? Something's not right, and something smells in Scotland or whatever it is. Something really bad. So, and I'm not accusing anyone of anyone. I'm just saying that we the people is so powerful, and I love what they're doing. That's what they're doing. They're trying to take some of that power back, raising issues, trying to get people more vocal, and that's what I want to encourage you all to do. I don't want them to get in trouble for it. I just have a TED show, so I'm not going to get in trouble with anybody. Yeah. But I think it's really important that we the people, it's important for you, trust me, because those kids that aren't getting an education, those teachers, there's only 3,000 right now, teachers coming out of UCF that are in the education department. This is all going to impact you whether you know it or not, and it's so much better.
And that's not just for Orange County. Keep in mind, they can go to Seminole County, they can go to Osceola County, Lake County is competing for teachers. There is districts out there offering bonuses to incentivize teachers to come. I looked up one county up in the Panhandle because you can go to Georgia, you can make $8,000 more a year in Georgia. In Jefferson County, I just picked it because it was the name of a president, being a teacher. Their average salary is like $50,000 plus.
Wow.
Yes, that's higher than Orange County. Yes, and that's because they got to compete with. I looked at you,
Georgia.
It's okay. You can keep looking. It's fine.
So those Panhandle counties, it's very, very competitive for teacher salaries. But there's got to be a reason for it. We're right smack in the middle of everything here.
You know, and you mentioned Osceola and Seminole County. Those are our neighboring counties, but we don't really compare to them when we talk about the size. We're the fourth largest district in Florida. Next to probably Miami-Dade, Hillsborough, Palm Beach, Broward. I think that's the top 5 in all of the state. So we need to compare ourselves to those districts because they mirror the size that we are in. So even though we're the 4th largest district in the state of Florida, we are at the 21st when it comes to the average teacher salary. So we can compare our neighboring counties because of the proximity, but we really need to compare ourselves with those larger districts. I mean, we're the 8th largest district in the entire country. So that says we have a huge population in Orange County, which all comes with the tax revenue. And Ted mentioned
we're 8th district in the nation, but the 21st in pay for Florida
and county.
Well,
out of 67
the entire
counties.
state of Florida is 46. So, but we talked about the 1 mil, and that 1 mil tax that was just renewed for the 3rd time specifically has. It doesn't actually detail where this money is going to go. It kind of gives a blanket area, to retain and recruit highly qualified teachers to preserve academic programs, and then there's some sports and club preservation that money's earmarked, but it's not specifically down on paper where that money goes. And I think that to mirror the half-penny sales tax that we have here in Orange County that goes towards the capital improvements such as the new schools, which we can keep up with the growth here in Orange County, that has a citizen board that actually oversees how that money is spent. We need to potentially do something like that for the 1 mil. So we can make sure that it's truly being invested in a specific priority. So if we can't recruit teachers, if we're short, I think our school or Orange County is like 1,000 teachers short.
Wow.
Going into the beginning of this school year, then we need to prioritize that 1 mil and say, okay, how are we recruiting teachers? But more importantly, how are we retaining them, not losing them to other neighboring counties, not losing them to other professions, and truly showing them the value that they deserve. So
What do you guys want to accomplish with the pages and with what you're doing? What do you want? I know what you want for the teachers. I think it's very important that the educators unite and be a very strong voice for yourselves.
That's the beauty of Facebook. It connects you with everybody in a much easier way because, as you know, I ran county seat. And this county is 1,003 square miles, and I was in every inch of it. And there's no way to get everybody, in a meeting place to educate them. Right. So both pages are to educate and inform and unite. Really, to be, we're all in this together. We all have the same insurance, and and we all get paid by the same company. We just want to be valued. I mean, at the end of the day, that's the goal. I mean, we should not be 21st in the state. And this is, year after year after year, we say the same thing. And then as soon as the school year starts, everybody just goes about their lives. Well, that's not happening this time.
Well, what can John Q. Public like me? What can somebody like me do? How can we raise the roof or raise issue or question things and help make an impact on what you all are trying to accomplish?
I think that there's a few things that the general public can do. They can hold their elected officials accountable if this money is specifically earmarked for a specific area, then they need to make sure that's actually what's happening. They can get involved by joining the group that Robert leads, which is making OCPS schools a priority. Teachers specifically, the page is called Vote No, but we're not encouraging people to vote no. We're not encouraging people to leave the union. No. We're really just trying to educate our colleagues and teachers so they can make an informed decision about everything that's going on with this contract negotiation, in addition to understanding the budget process for Orange County, understanding some people didn't even know that the ELC was where we had school board meetings. And so, as Pepper mentioned a few comments ago, she's so busy planning and getting ready for her classroom session, she doesn't have time to look for this
buying
information.
Her own school supplies too. That's for a whole nother.
So we're just trying to educate our colleagues and educate the public into this process, because if you don't have a school-age student, to be honest with you, you probably don't even know this is going on.
Right.
And you don't care because it doesn't directly affect you on a daily basis.
But it affects your employees, your colleagues,
right?
The people
it affects everybody.
Yeah. It really
right.
impacts
because
you.
44% of the families in Orange County has a child that goes to Orange County Public Schools. The other 56 need those students that are in those schools to become plumbers, to become accountants, bankers. Every profession comes through Orange County Public Schools, and then hopefully eventually they go to college or they go get a trade. And I don't want to get into the trade program.
And it's puzzling, Ted, that Robert says that everything goes through schools. So why are we not saying, all right, this is the pinnacle. This is the, and I'll use Mount Olympus because I just came back from Greece, but this is where our number one priority should be: students, teachers, and the education process in public schools.
And we brought this up before.
Why isn't it?
Schools are the heart of the community. When realtors go to look to value a house, first thing they do, what's that school grade?
Yeah.
That's it.
It's true.
Oh, a school. Oh, we can raise the price of this property. So everything is centered around schools. Everything's centered around these grades, and a teacher with a 4-year degree. We're not even going to get into the masters and all that. A teacher with a 4-year degree is the lowest paid profession in America with a 4-year degree. The lowest. Keep that in mind. You got to go get a 4-year degree, and then you are paid the lowest. So you got to love this profession. But this younger generation coming through, they
don't want to settle for that.
They see the corporate world. Yeah. They see what Chase is paying. They're looking at it across the street, and they're like.
Well, they also see they're very informed, and so they keep up with things like this. They know what's going on with the struggles that teachers have to go through on a million different levels we haven't even talked about today, and maybe we should do a follow-up show on that. let alone worrying about if I can pay my health insurance bill and how am I going to work at a deficit this year over the prior year, which nobody wants to work on. You expect some sort of net raise, not a net decrease.
But that's what's going to show. Like what David said, we've done the numbers. A vast majority of our teachers will take a pay cut, but they're going to say, well, you're getting a 4% raise, so our average will go up, and it won't show that we're taking a pay cut because of the insurance. So it's going to show like our but at the end of the day, it's what you net.
And let's make sure that those watching and those who will be watching later, that 4% is a 4% increase to the state, to the budget for salaries for the district. That's not a 4% raise, because everyone out there is probably saying, you're not happy with a 4% raise.
Yeah,
it's really not.
Excellent point.
It's definitely not a 4% raise.
Excellent.
And to be honest with you, it's not a percentage raise, period. It's a straight dollar amount. So somebody that's a first-year teacher is going to get the same exact raise as someone that's a 27-year teacher. Now, if you look at the private sector, somebody that works 27 years is probably, if they were to stay with the same company over time,
correct,
there is no way, and maybe there is a small example here, but 27 years with the same company. And
look at what Orlando Business Journal just put out, the top 50 highest paid administrators. They're getting a 4% raise if this all goes through, and it's on whatever their salary is right now. It's not, whatever the average is out of those 50, does that get increased off of that?
Yeah, that's a big difference to bring up. All right, so we shared a lot of information. The page is tagged that I want you to go to. Their contact information is on their pages. We're going to share all of that and put every possible way that you could reach out and get involved. And I'm asking you to get involved. I want you guys to help them be a voice for what we all know that they need and deserve. I could talk about this topic all day long when it comes to teachers.
So if you go to the page, we're going to have the email addresses for school board members, for the legislators, for the Senate. I have it all on that page already, that they can email, ask questions, about funding, about the insurance, and we want you to be educated and understand where your tax dollars are going.
All right, any parting words of wisdom for them, gentlemen, before we head out? Anything?
I want to thank the taxpayers for the half-cent sales tax. I'm in a brand new school. It's absolutely wonderful. They continue to build them. Now we want to put teachers in them. And we want to put teachers in at a fair value compared to the rest of the country, because these schools are technology driven, and which can be used, if used in a balanced way, very productively.
And for me, I will always have this mentality, Ted, in everything that I do. This is about the heart of education, which includes so many people: the teachers, the students, the community members, the parents, everyone that has a major impact on schools. This is about you. I'm passionate about you guys. And so I just encourage you to follow along what's going on in education, whether it's at the local level, state, or federal level, because this affects all of us. Even if you don't have a student, this affects you in some way, shape, or form. So
you guys are great.
Appreciate it.
Go out and support them, guys. Can't stress it enough. Thanks for being on the show.
Yeah.
I love these kind of topics. It's good. So we're going to share it all. Go to the page. It's tagged. Thanks, guys. Have a great one.
Bye, guys.
Let's get behind them and support them. Mwah. We'll see you tomorrow.